Hello. Alright, we got another one here. This is going to be a shorter one. There was some interest in the Herald node for elementalist, the new Herald node. So we're going to be using that, and Heralds have synergy with stacking auras because of Purposeful Harbinger. So we grab a couple of these nodes, stack in a few Heralds, and yeah, the numbers look good. So I think this will be something I'm going to try once I get some currency going. Definitely not a league starter. You need a lot of the reservation small clusters and just a lot of clusters in general. Right now I have the expensive setup with really good gear, but I have a cheaper setup, and then I have an ignite setup, which is pretty close to the cheaper one. But yeah, I was surprised to see the damage on this one. Just ethereal knives. I think people usually go ethereal knives ignite, and I did try doing a version of that, but the damage was a lot less. But yeah, so you can kind of just plug in any physical spell into this. Could be cool to plug in Blade Vortex of the Scythe and see how that looks. And I'm sure there's a bunch of others that people want to try out. We're scaling Herald of Purity and Herald of Ash quite a bit. That's Herald of Purity 70% of our damage, Herald of Ash 46. And then Herald of Ice is a 28% increase. So we're scaling a bunch of Herald buff effect. There's some on the tree here. Just generic Herald buff effect. There's a little bit here. It's not like a super amazing node, but it's something. And then we have a bunch on our ring. This is like the best in slot circle of ambition you can get. But I have a few other ones in here. Here's one that's shouldn't be too hard to snag. You can ignore the corrupt, but it's actually only a 6% DPS loss compared to the best in slot. This doesn't have any implicits though. But yeah, I'm not really going to go into the super details. Just wanted to get the POB out there and get the tech known. It's not like a super new build archetype. Herald and aura stacking I think's always kind of been a thing. But the numbers look really good here. So definitely going to play this. I'll move on to this is going to be like the starting point where I don't think you probably could start it with less currency than this, but I don't know how good it's going to feel. I don't think I would start it without having at least this much. So yeah, the cheaper loadout here. Max hits are pretty good. Cold and lightning's a little low. Actually, let me fix this. I wish POB would disable Righteous Fire if you're running CI. So I had to disable it myself. DPS went down a good chunk, but it's still really good. And I think CI is still worth going because you're a lot tankier. But if you wanted to go the low life righteous fire route, the damage would probably be quite a bit better, but defenses are going to be sketchy. But yeah, so we got this one, starting version 7 mil DPS. It's pretty good. Max hits are good, decent at least. We are using Flesh and Stone and Enfeeble over here. So Flesh and Stone should have pretty good uptime. Enfeeble is based on your focus, but on bosses that should be up permanently. The big difference between the cheaper and the expensive version is really just price. The clusters shouldn't be expensive. You could even do this with just a 25% increased effect on the small reservation clusters. So that should be shouldn't be too expensive. I can't really ballpark a number. It's pretty hard to predict the economy. I don't even remember what they cost in the past. I want to say below like 10C, but we'll see. Yeah, I had the wrong scepter here, so I had to switch that out. Damage went up a bit, 8 mil now. It is self-cast, so uptime on DPS is probably not amazing for bosses, but it still looks good, so I don't think it matters too much. But yeah, quick overview on the gear. You don't need a Dark Seer, but Dark Seer is very strong. Defenses and damage on there. Scepter with plus spells, some cast speed. The rest of the gear is just energy shield gear. Though this one, the helmet does have mana reserve. You can craft that with essence. Shouldn't be too hard to get one of these. But yeah, energy shield gear for the rest. Implicits, really want the physical damage from hits taken as chaos on your helmet and your chest plate. The gloves are special. These are kind of crappy ones, but they have the implicit physical damage converted to lightning and crafted version as well. I'm not sure how expensive Veil Orbs will be, but right now we have not quite 100% converted, but enough where like the rest of it's not going to be that big of a damage increase. Perfect gloves are a 10% damage increase, so not losing too much there. It is important to put lightning on here because we want bigger shocks. If you're not running this, you probably won't be running this in game. Probably be running Shaper of Winter, but I guess you can feel it out. If you are running this one, Shaper of Storms, then I guess you can convert on the gloves. It'd be better to convert to cold. But yeah, if you have questions about what you should do, just feel free to send a comment or something. But yeah, for the boots, nothing real special on there. Movement speed, energy shield, implicits aren't mandatory. The amulet, it is a Crusader amulet for the defense. Energy shield %. You don't really need that. The thing you really want is the plus all skills, but it's nice to have. And it's a citrine amulet with crafted dex and strength. Sort of important for the stats, but you can solve stats really anywhere, so it's just up to you how you want to arrange your gear. Corrupt isn't necessary on here. I just have it on there. That's best in slot, corrupt. Same with this one. And the ring, this is a pretty doable circle gilt I showed earlier. But yeah, we're running the trader, and we're running some flasks. They're not really, you're not dependent on any of these. Even without the ruby flask going, you still have plenty of fire resistance. We don't even really, you could swap out the ruby flask for any flask. You only really want to use a ruby flask if you're going low life to run righteous fire. I already went over the jewels, but I'll go over them again real quick. Small clusters with reservation, three passives. You should get that because we're running a crap ton of auras. Large clusters, prismatic heart and sadist are the two best nodes you can get. For these ones, it's just, these are crappy clusters. The cluster you really want is this one. It has prismatic and sadist at the front. So if you can get those ones, get them. Now, light of meaning, damage boost, Watcher's Eye, defense boost. Honestly, this is not that amazing of a Watcher's Eye. There's a lot of different options for that. I would plug stuff into the POB. And yeah, Purposeful Harbinger, 2 of these. And heraldry is actually super important. This is our way to apply exposure. It's a huge damage boost. So make sure you got one of these. Purposeful Harbinger, heraldry, medium clusters. Yeah, so that's the items, skills. Running Trinity, you do have to manage your converted damage a bit to run this. Hatred plus the damage convert on the gloves is enough, or even just hatred. It shouldn't be too hard to run Trinity, but you might have to do a little bit of tweaking. If you're running into trouble there, send me your POB and I can look at it. Running 3 heralds. Purity of Fire, I don't think is super necessary anymore. I put down here the auras you should lose, and in which order. Purity of Fire is definitely the first one you'll lose. Don't even need this anymore. So yeah, I just edited real quick because we weren't running Purity of Fire or Righteous Fire because of CI. Instead of Purity of Fire, I just put Herald of Thunder in, which was a pretty good damage boost, 22%. But yeah, lots of auras on here. If you can't get the Enlightens, then you'll just drop auras in this order. I drop haste first. It's a 50% reserve. The movement speed is really nice, so you could drop really any 3 of these. It's up to you, but I just put them in that order. It's what I would drop first if I was really struggling on the reservation. Yeah, there's the skills. Went over the tree. Okay, so that's the cheaper version. Shouldn't be too expensive there. Here's the ignite version. It's kind of like half hit, half ignite. Ignite DPS 3.8. Hit DPS 3.8 million. Physical max hit's going to be higher than this because we're running Shaper of Flames. It just doesn't really show on here as long as the enemy is ignited. Tree is pretty much the same. Once again, there are not really any differences here. A lot of the items are the same as the cheaper variant. Different scepter, slightly different amulet. But yeah, you can run a lot of the same gear if you want to hop back and forth between the Ignite and the other version. Let me fix this. I just had to get rid of Purity Fire there. Yeah, so the aura difference is no Zealotry, running Malevolence instead. Now for more Ignite. If you want, you can run Zealotry for more hit damage. But the point of this one is to have the Ignite Prolif, so clear feels better. But yeah, that's about all the difference is. Or I guess we're running Flammability instead of Sniper's Mark. Yeah. Check out the POB so you can compare yourself. Items are pretty much the same. Oh, the gloves as well. They have the Ignite Prolif on them. That's pretty important. But yeah, not many differences to switch over to Ignite and get the nice map clear going. So yeah, there's the 3 versions. Running out of time before League starts, so I'm not going to add the spell, the low life version on here. Maybe at a later point when I build it out myself. I have to work on one other POB before League starts, so not really going to have time at the moment. But yeah, if you have any questions about this, please leave a comment. And happy League start to everyone. Hopefully it goes real smooth. We'll see you guys in game. Good luck.